it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here, as it'll be the Jacksonville Jaguars taking on the Tennessee Titans.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we take a look at this Titan Ball Club entering play. They come in off a loss in the opener last week. That one was on the road. Now they get their first taste here of home cooking.
And what they're hoping to do is feed off the energy of the home crowd. Great tailgate, great fan support.
It's Madden NFL 24 on EA Sports, and we're going to see Travis Etienne. He carried that rock like a pro last week, over 180 yards. It's the Jags and the Titans, and it's coming up next on Madden Football.
Being located in the Music City, this building has hosted a lot of great music acts since its inception. But this is what she was made for, NFL football, and that's what we have today in Nashville at Nissan Stadium. Today, after a topsy-turvy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here, as it'll be the Jacksonville Jaguars taking on the Tennessee Titans.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we take a look at this Titan Ball Club entering play. The losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of...
It's the NFL on EA Sports, and we're going to see Travis Etienne. He was stellar a week ago, piling up the yards and finding pay dirt twice. It's the Jaguars and the Titans coming up next.
By many accounts, one of the most underrated home venues in all of the NFL resides in the heart of Nashville, Tennessee, and that's where we find ourselves at Nissan Stadium. Today, after a topsy-turvy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here, as it'll be the Jacksonville Jaguars taking on the Tennessee Titans.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we take a look at this Titan Ball Club entering play. The losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Jaguars, they were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22.
So here's the first drive now for the Jags.
They're led by the #1 overall pick in the 2021 draft, Trevor Lawrence.
And you want to talk about enormous expectations being placed on a quarterback. How about what Trevor Lawrence faced coming out of college? But the good thing for him, he's used to it. He had the same type of expectations leaving high school and going to Clemson. They always expect him to be a franchise savior, whatever team he joins. And to his credit, he shouldered those expectations, and he's doing everything in his power to follow through.
Big 13 heavy.
They'll start on the ground. Etienne. He'll work his way up the middle for a gain of about 4, second down. The numbers on the ground for Etienne last week. He was creeping up toward 200 yards, thought he was going to get there, didn't quite make it, but also 2 rushing touchdowns.
And even if he only got about half those numbers this week, his team would take it in a heartbeat, wouldn't they? Because last week, he was spectacular.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. You talk about this Titan defense. They're a unit that struggled some against the run, no doubt, coming in 25th out of 32 teams.
And when people talk about facing a challenge, they are certainly getting one in this ball game because they're facing the #1 rushing unit in the NFL, which means this is going to be a contest they've got to be prepared for from the first snap.
He gets 7 out of it, and he also gets a first. The Jaguars at 1-0 on the year following the win in Week 1, and they were able to take care of business in front of the home crowd last week.
Yeah, it's always nice to get that opener at home, but now things get a little bit tougher. The good thing for them, though, is they take a little extra confidence with them when they head out on the road.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Lawrence. And this is dropped. Oh, boy. A chance for a big play early, but he could not secure it. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Lawrence. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
1 first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
And they'll try and throw forward with Lawrence. And it's going to be batted down. It will go the other way with the football.
It's week 2 of the NFL, and we're going to see Travis Etienne. He had a nice effort a week ago with a pair of touchdowns. It's the Jags and the Titans, next on Madden Football.
Just off the east bank of the Cumberland River and across the water from the Tennessee State Capitol building, there's a look at Nissan Stadium in Nashville. Today, after a topsy-turvy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here, as it'll be the Jacksonville Jaguars taking on the Tennessee Titans.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we take a look at this Titan Ball Club entering play. Now, losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Jaguars, they were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that 2nd win in a row.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. They're led by the #1 overall pick in the 2021 draft, Trevor Lawrence.
The word is potential, potential, potential. Think about this guy from the time he was in high school, one of the top prospects going to college, coming out of college, mentioned as a generational type quarterback. He looks the part. Tall, big arm, surveys the field, and can take off and run when under duress.
And he'll be corralled right around the 34. They'll take that, 14 yards on play number 1. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, that he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue, just make sure you feed me the football? And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to them. I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. And he's up over midfield and down into Tennessee territory. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Lawrence going to move him around a bit. On 2nd down, a run with Etienne.
And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. 5 yards on first down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on 2nd.
Here is 3rd down and 4. Lawrence. That is caught. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Titans' 28.
Nice 3rd down conversion and even 20 yards.
On 1st and 10, it's Etienne.
It's so close. He gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there.
42 yards rushing for him here. What a start to the ball game. It's 1st and goal. Etienne will get it into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. Well, first quarter, maybe too early to talk about statement drives, Charles, but that sure seemed like a statement drive right there.
Well, if we're going to talk about statement drives, I think what they're saying is we're going to establish the run. They gave it to him early and often on this drive, and he wound up taking it into the end zone.
Extra point right down the middle, and that makes the score 7-0.
After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
So now the Titans get their first shot on offense. And leading them out, their signal caller now in his 4th season in the NFL.
And no excitement unless you're on the defensive team of last week in his numbers, because the only excitement he really generated was the 1 interception he threw.
Yeah, no touchdown pass.
Yeah, and his team wasn't real thrilled about that. And they lost the game. So I know this week has been tough on him because he's been working hard. Fundamentals, footwork, finding the right targets. And bottom line, how do they get a win?
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
Now the first carry for Cam Akers.
And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45.
Andre Sisco there on the stop. From the 44-yard line, here's 2nd down and 5.
They'll look to throw. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle 3rd. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
He'll look to throw.
Toward the sideline, intercepted.
Dante Jackson picks it.
And the Jags are going to take over at their own 30-yard line.
Partner, I think this one went awry very simply because he overestimated his arm strength and his ability to fit it anywhere he wants to. A lot of quarterbacks do that and often pay the price.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive.
Early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game, but I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them, but I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice, but at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
And the pressure gets to Lawrence, and he'll go down.
He'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's third down.
There's a lot of discussion in the offseason about him having a big year and getting to the quarterback. They held him without a sack in week 1, but how about here? Finally gets his first one of the season.
In the offseason, said he changed his diet, leaner, feels so good this year. Excited to see what type of a season he can have.
And he gets this one to Ridley, complete. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. A busy first quarter. His third catch of the afternoon is a first down. Now Lawrence. Airing it out, looking for Ridley. And this is taken in at the 5. It's a big play for the Jaguars. 54 yards. Every defensive staff harps on limiting explosive plays. Job not so well done there.
Yeah, they talk about it all the time. A lot harder to stop, though, isn't it? And when you think of an explosive play, most offensive staffs define them as passes of...
Got his man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. Calvin Ridley with career touchdown number 94. He ties both Jerome Bettis and Priest Holmes on the all-time list. And the Jaguars have taken a 13-0 first quarter lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll make the score 14-0. After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. Charles, it's kind of gut check time. Look, I know it's early, first quarter, just their second drive of the game, but they've already thrown the interception, given up the score. You're down double digits. They got to figure out something, and pretty quickly here.
No doubt about it. And when we look at that sideline, I'm sure you're observing the same thing I am. I don't like the body language at all. They look like they're in a state of stunned disbelief.
Ready for the second quarter from Tennessee, and it's the homestanding Titans in possession, as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Now back to throw. He finds Douglas, complete. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and that will bring up 2nd down.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. The throw over the middle, taken in. His first catch, good for 8 and a 1st down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Back to throw again. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another 1st down.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And that's incomplete.
And a smart play there. He's probably saying, I wish I would have done that on the last drive instead of throwing the interception.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. They'll look to throw again. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, they had that one snipped out defensively. That's a tough one to connect on when you got multiple defenders in the area, and it winds up incomplete.
And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So not exactly the response they were hoping for, but they'll take the 3 to at least get them on the score sheet.
Yeah, now's not the time to panic. All is well, somewhat calm, only down 14-0. So continue to play your game, take the points when they're there, and put the emphasis on your defense to go out and get you the football back.
Calvin Ridley and the Jaguars back onto the field.
Previous series, definitely a focal point. 3 catches, the touchdown grab. As a DB, your former DB, Is there a number of catches on a drive you're like, oh, he got the best of us?
I'm not sure there's a number, but there's a great feel. And what he did on the last drive, yeah.
Especially with a touchdown.
Yes.
You're never happy.
You're exactly right. The way he capped it off, so you feel that at the sideline, and now you're looking at your buddies and saying, okay, what are we going to do to take things away from him? Because I'm not sure the other guys can make those sort of plays. So let's make sure that we don't let him get going again.
He'll get a yard, that's all, as they get him down at the 28.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That one goes for 36 yards.
Despite writing it down on my notes, I never give enough credit to the offensive line, and we have to here. The protection, that's what made this play a success. Quarterback had to wait for his crossing route to develop, and that takes a little bit of extra time. Excellent job by the big fellas up front.
Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
So they'll get 8 out of that completion. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot.
Now Lawrence to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Now Lawrence.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, Brandon, we see why it's a team game there, because there's a sigh of relief that they just released defensively. If he's able to get that one away, that's likely a touchdown. But instead, that pressure from the front got to him and forced the incompletion.
You're right. He had him open just a split second too late on the release. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Jacksonville.
Travis Etienne with his 4th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Jaguars are able to stretch out their lead.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is up to 18 now. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told.
And it was capped off by a Travis Etienne touchdown run. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. Tennessee offense set to go again. Last time out, you remember their drive stalled, but thanks to their kicker, booted a long field goal to at least get them 3. Now here they'll try to do better and find the end zone.
And in our experience, how much fun is it for coaches to know that they've got a kicker who can nail it from long distance? Now, the hard part is, as an offensive play caller, you don't want that in your head too much where you're relying on it, and he goes out and gets the job done for them. But I'm quite sure he would be content to just kick extra points from here on out.
Yeah, absolutely no question. I think his teammates would be okay with him just kicking the extra points as well.
3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a 1st down. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try and put some points on the board.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Back to throw here.
They'll set up the screen here to Akers.
They hold him to only 2 there on the screen. It's 2nd down. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
That's taken in by Duvernay.
And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 40. He'll drop to throw. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. They're going to look to throw. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a third down.
And when you're throwing the ball downfield really well like they have been on this drive, it's really a nice time to work one of the screen plays in. One of my favorite play callers in the game has always told me he starts every game with 10 to 12 screens because if he starts feeling the pressure from the defense, he uses their aggressiveness against them.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. Jacksonville's pass defense holds serve. Fourth down. So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. This will be from 56 yards out. And that's off the right upright, and it bounces away no good. And the deficit will stay at 3 scores.
And now 2 problems as I see it. First, you missed the kick, which granted was a long one. But second, you set the other guys up with great field position and enough time to maybe get downfield and get a field goal attempt of their own.
He completes it to Ridley. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1.
And they'll throw on first down with Lawrence. And this one into the hands of Ingram downfield.
And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
Here's Lawrence to throw.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Evan Ingram in the final seconds of the first half.
And the Jaguars will extend their lead here just before halftime.
Extra point right down the middle. And a rout is on here in this first half.
So 6 seconds, all that remains of this first half as the kick is away.
And he can't field it cleanly. It's loose.
And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15.
All that remains is to snap this once, and that'll do it for the first half of play. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our...
Well, everyone's eager to resume play here in this Week 2 contest, so we push right through halftime and back at it for the start of quarter 3.
And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter.
The Titans going to get the ball to start the second half, and they trail here as we get back to it on EA Sports. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
Out come the Titans now. They'll have it first on offense to start the third.
CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history, and that's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down.
Open man is Duvernay.
And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49.
2 catches in the first half. Now he's got a third here, and it's good for a first.
First and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Back to throw. And his throw is incomplete.
Here's 2nd and 10.
He'll look to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete.
That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
Blitz forthcoming as he'll look to throw. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe.
The perennial Pro Bowler Aaron Donald gets the sack.
On now is the Titans punter, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. Out comes Calvin Ridley and the offense for their next drive.
And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Kevin Byard up to make the tackle.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Big 13 heavy.
On 2nd down, ETN once more. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. 77 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Out of the gun, it's Lawrence.
Got an open man, it's Washington. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line.
A 14-yard pickup. That's 14 yards on 2 straight plays. On 1st and 10, it's Lawrence. They'll try and set up the screen to ETN.
No gain on the screen there. It's 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or 2 miss, but that window closed quickly. And he's up over midfield and down into Tennessee territory. And quickly they get to the line.
13 loose.
On 3rd down, Dixon. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the 1st down on that run. Don't just ask for them. Show them that you're supposed to get the football.
Throwing now, Lawrence on 1st down.
Complete to Washington. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the 2nd half. That's just his 2nd incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit. A lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
By the skin of their teeth, they are able to convert on 3rd and inches.
Looking to throw, Lawrence.
Flush to his right.
And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
He's had a very nice day throwing the football, and I think on this play, he's just trying to buy some time so he can make another big throw downfield. Unfortunately, couldn't connect on that one.
To the right side and complete to Washington. Touchdown, Jaguars! Parker Washington.
His first touchdown of the new season.
And the Jaguars just continue to roll. So, Charles, they're well on their way to a 2-0 start. Now, last week, they had the close victory. This one more commanding, much more comfortable.
Well, the sense we got from them was that last week they felt like they didn't play their best. They got the win, but they weren't really on top of their game. But they put it all together here in this one, haven't they? What an impressive performance.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25.
And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field.
Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time, hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone.
And a missed tackle there as he pushes forward for a gain of 4.
Well, this defense, they've got the 4-score advantage, and you can see why they continue to bottle up the run game. And really, they've just been sharp in all facets here in this one, CD.
Yeah, they've kept that offense in check the entire game, and I think it's been led by what you just talked about, that defensive front, which has not allowed them to run the football and establish control of the line of scrimmage.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted.
Tyreek Stevenson picks it off.
And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
On second down, Dixon. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30.
46 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
ETN up the middle.
And he'll be taken down after a decent gain, and that will bring us to the end of this 3rd quarter of play. 3 quarters have come and gone. Back now in Nashville. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair.
Take right open.
On second down now, Dixon. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14.
2nd and 9.
They'll keep it on the ground. Dixon. He's taken down at the 7 after a gain of 7.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. On 4th down, they'll try and run for it. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. A 6-yard touchdown run.
And the Jaguars are on their way to a 2-0 start. So they only needed a couple of feet there on 4th down, but they got more than that and then some as he takes this into the end zone.
And I love your description right there, right? 4th and short. They got that. No problem. Let's go ahead and get the rest of it. Finish it off in the end zone. Touchdown. Everyone goes away happy on that one.
And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. Here's Tennessee ready to begin this drive offensively. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long.
A tall task ahead of them here, needing a full 15 yards to move the chains.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. On on now is the Titans punter. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. That's taken at around the 40. 42-yard punt, 6 on the return. And the Jaguars go on offense, first down and 10.
Jacksonville back on offense and ready to take over. You just kind of feel for the defense right now. This deficit, they have not been able to stop them the entire game, Charles. And some hands on hips, some long faces out there on the defensive side. They're like, oh my gosh, we got to face these guys again here.
Yeah, people don't understand how hard it is when you're on the side that's being dominated to keep your head up and continue to play hard. And that's what they're going through right now, trying to find that pride inside of them to allow them to continue to fight, even though they are down huge in this game.
Another tote for Etienne.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
Here's Lawrence.
To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Partner, in the sportsmanship handbook, there's something to be said for calling the dogs off in a blowout. But these defenders, they also know this is the NFL, and it's their job to stop them, whether they're in the game or they're down by a handful of touchdowns.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Give them credit for excellent coverage, tight coverage. They're doing a lot of things that we talk about in basketball. They're causing disruptions in the passing game. And as long as that continues, it'll be tough for them to gain any momentum throwing the ball downfield.
And the tackle made at the 13. He is well short of the first. Now a field goal try coming up here for the Jags. And his kick is right there. It's good, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field.
These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on third.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Fielded at about the 28. 43 yards on the punt. Return of 4.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. As the offense returns, let's take a look at running back Travis Etienne.
He's already hit pay dirt twice. He's up over 100 yards. He is feeling good.
And he's just zipping along today. Everything coming together for him. It's that type of a day that you see a back just got to have a grin on his face every time his number is called, because he doesn't feel like there are going to be any lost yardage plays, nothing but big-time positive runs.
Making the sideline grin as well.
Nice job by the defense figuring that play out and holding it to a short game, but I don't think the offense is going to be daunted. They actually accomplished their goal there. Now they've got them aware that they can throw a screen at them, maybe to slow the pass rush down a little bit, and they can throw it downfield.
And able to use his blockers to get this up over the 40.
A yard all they need, but it's 3rd down. They'll keep it on the ground. Dixon. And he will have a Jaguars first down, and comfortably so, as he gets 5 there on 3rd and a yard. Now a give right side. Dixon. And some pretty strong running there as he'll take this across the 50 and down to the 44.
It's a gain of 10. First down, Jacksonville.
On first down, Dixon. And he's going to be met at about the 43. And the offense moving quickly to the line.
A gain of a yard. 11. Brings up 2nd and 9.
On second down, Dixon. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
Now Lawrence. He's got his target. That's complete. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Sliding out of the pocket. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Looking like they're well on their way to a 2-0 start. All smiles right now on that sideline, isn't it?
As well there should be. It's hard to win a game in the NFL. We hear it all the time. We know that it's difficult. But guess who's smiling? But inside is thinking 24-hour rule, because we're going to have to play again next week.
Boss man.
Oh, without a doubt. The head coach, he wants them to feel good, but at the same time, find a way to keep improving.
This fielded right at the goal line. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. And the Titans getting set to go. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Well, this game, it was well in hand early, never really in doubt. Charles, you and I do so many games together. There's so much parity in the NFL, a lot of close battles. This was not one. Tip your cap to them for a really impressive effort.
Yeah, and you know, as the game went on, I think the defense kind of got together and said, you see our guys on offense, they're just putting up point after point. We need to leave our mark somehow, too, and they did it, pitching a second-half shutout.
So for Jacksonville, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory.
And they will be at home for one next week against the Las Vegas Raiders.
Meanwhile, for the Titans, they'll drop to 0-2, and they'll look to regroup next week as they head to Houston to take on